People often think of Africa or ancient Africans as being very static, all localized in one place, without taking into account the documentation that clearly establishes that there were Nile Valley migrations to West Africa, particularly after the Roman incursion into North Africa. Many of the blacks in North Africa left North Africa and they migrated into the inner body of Africa. And that includes West Africa, not just West Africa, but unfortunately, the way people are miseducated today, they're under the false impression that the Sahara was empty and that the only people in the Sahara were light-skinned, miscegenated North Africans, and that's false. If you ever want to, I would just suggest that you Google the term Kanem Bornu, Kanem, Kanem Bornu, Bornu, the Kanem Bornu state. It was a black African civilization, and it basically comprised all of the Sahara from the north to the south of it and was directly adjacent to Egypt. If you spit in Kanem Bornu, it would land in Egypt. So what people tend to do through modern Western politics, to give it a nice name, they create this imaginary boundary and they use these imaginary Eurocentric terms like sub-Saharan Africa. And these are very modern ideas. They don't apply to antiquity or ancient Africa. So not only were there successive migrations from Egypt into the inner body of Africa that eventually culminated in a West African locale, but they actually know the roots. They literally know the roots and the stopping points that they took, and these are documented.
Who knows this?
Who knows this?
Yeah.
People who study history, people who study migratory history of ancient, of various continents, but particularly Africa. So if you study, I'll give you, if you want a text to read, a good book.
Yeah, give me a short, because this is so much, it's making my hair hurt.
To read is a book called Exiled Egyptians, Heart of Africa. Now, the key thing that you need to know about this book, where it talks about these migrations, and it's not the only text, but it happens to be my favorite text that highlights these migrations. The thing that's important to remember about that text is that it's not written by a black person. So it's not a black person that's cheerleading migrations out of the Nile Valley into West Africa. It's actually written by a modern Egyptian national by the name of Mustafa Gadala.